Hey, shalom, shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Waharakah Kodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And honors to you always out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word with all sincerity and the truth. And this is the book of Revelations 22 and 19. It says, "And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book." Now, one of the prophecies that's recorded in this book is the mark of the beast, which is the implantable RFID chip. All right, and the apostles and elders have been preaching about this for years, and as time has gone on, it's just more and more information has come out to further compound and further reveal that the mark of the beast is the implantable RFID chip. And what we've done over the years is we've broken down the system that the MOTB is going to be built upon, which we call the MOTB system, and that includes the CBDCs, AIs, all the infrastructure that's being put together that the MOTB is going to rest upon. And we've been breaking it down for years. We've been giving the people the knowledge, all right, and the understanding, and warning our people. Listen, don't take that chip. Okay, it's going to be made mandatory, right, as the prophecies say. And if you receive that mark pursuant to Revelation, the 14th chapter, 9th and the 10th verse, then you're going to be destroyed. And we're making it absolutely crystal clear with no confusion, all right, so that, if you take it, it's on you. Now, you got these guys, IUIC, for years have been running interference, which I personally believe this because, there's a gag order, all right? They've been told, them and ISUPK, have been told and hand-fed goofy breakdowns in order to confuse the people and set a snare for them in regards to the MOTB. But we've been applying so much pressure in the spirit and bringing out so much information through the spirit that all of a sudden they had to start talking about CBDCs and and digital IDs and all these different things. But what they don't want to mention is the microchip. It's like it's redacted. Coming like them man have watched the algos and watched the different brothers and the elders, and then they just took talking points and just edited out the microchip to try and sound like they're credible. All right, let's listen to this.
Into sin, all right, that no man may buy or sell, read on,
save he that had the mark or the name of the beast.
So you got to have the mark or the name of the beast in order to buy or sell. Now, let me tell you also.
Now, remember, listen, you have to pay attention to these guys because they're slick. Remember, at one point, they were saying that the MOTB is something that nations receive, not individuals. Remember? Small nations? Yeah? And then they were talking about how it's an embargo and all this foolishness. Now it's for buying milk, and it's on the individual now. All right?
Now today, the trade wars, the tariffs, all that stuff is taking place with Trump. Guess what? All nations got to call and enter into a what? An agreement.
Right, first and foremost, all nations already have an agreement with America. All nations have trade deals. You see, these guys don't even understand these trade deals, and they don't understand tariffs. So the MOTB has got really nothing to do with the trade wars and the tariffs, but they don't really understand these things. All right, the tariffs doesn't stop someone from buying or selling. Tariff puts a premium on imports. So, for instance, if as an importer, if you import a product from, say, Indonesia, and there's a 10% tariff on that product, you will be able to buy the product, but you'll pay a 10% premium tax on top, which goes to the federal government. Okay, it doesn't mean that you can't buy or sell. It just stipulates whether there's a tax, basically a sales tax or import tax added on. But these guys never explain anything properly because they're not there to enlighten or to edify. They're just there to confuse and deceive.
America in order to do what? But to trade, to buy and sell. We've seen it take place before. What?
You can buy and sell with or without the trade deal. Again, it's about taxes and also standards. A lot of times when the people do trade deals, it's all about standards. Standardizing production standards and things of that nature.
Nice. You all understand? But this is, as I said, is level state. Okay? I see they trying to collapse the US dollar. Okay, and they will try to bring in a new form of digital world currency. America will do that.
And we've already been saying that the CBDCs is part of the agenda. There's going to be a new system, the MOTB system. But he don't want to mention the microchip. It's been redacted.
To reinforce world dominancy economically. America will do that. You know, they will collapse everybody money all over the world. You feel me? Do you know that China and a lot of these nations hold US bonds, which is basically US debt? Now, if they get rid of the US debt, guess what's gonna happen to the US dollar? It's gonna tank. The US dollar gonna tank. And guess what? America gonna do what America do. America is the oppressor. They gonna do what they gonna do. The whole economy collapse, then they come up with a new solution. And guess what? They let all nations know, listen, this is the new form of trading worldwide. And make sure all your citizens have a digital ID.
Yeah, but that's already been happening. And you see, if you GMS have already been breaking it down, that system has already been built throughout the world. Russia, China, all these different nations have been building this infrastructure. It's not something that's going to come out of the blue because America told people to do it. It's already being set up because ultimately this is coming from the higher up power structure that controls America and these different nations. But yeah, let's keep it going.
All your information is on that digital ID.
See, so really, he don't want to mention the microchip because the digital ID, yes, is going to exist. Your CBDC, your bank account, but all that information is going to be placed upon your chip. But they don't want to mention the microchip because it's been redacted. It's the gag orders out there, like, you know, don't mention the microchip. Just, you could talk about the digital ID now, you could talk about CBDC, talk about tariffs, you could talk about all these different things, just don't mention the microchip.
Bank account and all of these things. You all understand? That's the level it's gonna come to. It ain't there fully as yet, but that's the level it's gonna come to. The mark of the beast. Okay?
The microchip.
Read it again.
Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell.
And the mark of the beast is the mark of who? America. He is the beast. He set up this whole system. It's him ruling it. It's him running it. Remember, Europe gave
Yeah, but what
him
about the
their
microchip,
power.
brother?
Europe is carrying him.
What about the microchip, brother? What? Yeah, okay, but what about the microchip? Can we address that?
America is the one that making all the decisions. The mark of the beast is America gonna be pushing that. Is America gonna be setting up that religion that everybody gotta worship the white image of Christ?
What? What? These guys are insane. They ain't got nothing to do with worshiping the white image of who they call Christ, man. These guys are insane.
America gonna be pushing that. America is the one that gonna set it up where
America don't even push that on their allies now, you goofball. America don't push that. Talking about, man.
in order, if you don't agree with the market, if you don't agree with their politics, their religions, you can't function in their society. You can't buy, you can't sell. You can't go You can't even go buy milk at this.
But didn't they say that it's an embargo that's put upon nations? Now it's on individuals, and now they're talking about digital ID. So how is all that gonna work?
So you can't pay for electricity. You can't pay your light bill. You can't.
So didn't Nate say that it's not about buying Nikes? It's about commerce, which is basically mass importation. That's what Nate said. Nate said, oh, it ain't talking about you going to buy a pair of Nikes. But now you're saying that it is. So which one is it? Is it an embargo or is it a personal thing? Confusion.
Buy a car. You can't buy gas. Why? Because everything is connected to what?
The microchip,
To your ID.
which is on your microchip.
You get paid. You ain't need to go pick up no money. Everything goes straight to your ID.
Which is on your
They take
microchip.
out tax that same day. You understand what I'm saying? But in order for that new world order, in order for America to reestablish their world dominance, they gotta create chaos. So that's what Trump is doing. He's creating chaos.
Yeah, that's
And
all
when
fine.
they-
I know you've been listening to the algos, but I'm saying, like, why are you redacting the use of the word microchip? Why are you ignoring a massive part of the system that's being built? The ubiquitousness of RFID technology. Why are you doing this?
Economy and the world economy collapsed, they're gonna reinforce what they're trying to do, which is the mark of the beast. It's gonna
Right, the microchip. See, we got to put it in. We got to say it for him because he's not allowed to say it. It is a gag order, man. It's redacted.
happen. Eventually, it's gonna happen. Okay, whether you all believe it or not, but they will kill you if you don't worship the white Jesus.
I mean, look, man, these man is quite clear. Like, you know, I ain't really got the time to go into it fully, yeah. But it's quite clear that these man, they've been told that, you know, yeah, you're gonna have to start talking about the digital ID and all that stuff because it's getting peak out here. But don't mention the microchip, and that's why he's trying his best to not mention it. You know, he's doing it's redacted. You know, like when America releases, you know, when the FBI and them man released the JFK documents, and it's just all redacted. You know what I mean? They just blacked it out. They just blacked out. Yeah, remove anywhere. Watch the GMS algorithm, remix it, and then just take out anywhere, edit out anywhere where they mention the microchip. That's what these men are doing right now. These men is clear that these men, IUIC, IUCPK, Sakari, these men ain't about the integrity and the purity of the ministry. Okay, these men have ulterior motives. They're doing their own thing, and they've cut deals, and they get to enrich themselves and play their games as long as they don't speak or teach certain things. All right, and it's even more evidently clear with IUCPK and IUIC, who always, don't be surprised if IUCPK come out with a video and it sounds very similar to this, because they're getting it from the same place, you know, and they're running the same playbook. All right, this is Romans 16 and 18. It says, for they that are such serve not our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach. That's why you see these men trying to save the community and joining hand in hand with Islam and all this foolishness, because them men ain't really about Yahweh Shai. They've taken the ministry and they're trying to use it to their own means, right? For they are that are such serve not our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, but their own belly. Okay, these men have got their own thing going on, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple, because the simple-minded listen to the BS that these men speak, and they're changing it up every so once in a while to run damage control, and they just believe it. You know, when they said it was an embargo and they didn't even understand what an embargo was, they believed it. Now they're talking about these trade wars and using the words digital ID, and none of these people are going to look any of this information up. I say, you know, the prudent man looketh well to his going. None of these men are going to be prudent. They're just going to just believe anything that these people say. All right, simple-minded. And that's who they're there to prey upon, the simple. Just like Sakari, ICBK, IUIC, they're there to prey upon the simple of our people, man. You know? And it's a damn shame because the ones of our people that follow these guys, all right, you could wear all the fringes. Let me tell you something for free, yeah? You could wear all the fringes you want, all the purple garments. You can march around all you want and do all of that, yeah? But if you take that microchip, man, the MOTB, you're done. All right? If you don't believe in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you're done. This is why these men are basically taking away key parts of the ministry from the people. They're leaving you unprotected. They're giving you just enough, but not enough, if you understand what I'm saying. It's a joke thing out here, man. It's a mad thing. But we're just gonna keep the record the same as it always has been. Right? So that when this thing goes down, you can't say you never did her, yeah? So simple as it is, the mark of the beast is the implantable RFID chip. And if you receive it, yeah, then you're gonna get what the duck get. Simple as that. So with that, I'm gonna show you Shalom.